Gold has been used to make our money for over 2,000 years. It is universally valued and trusted, became the bedrock of our economies.
An ancient adage goes something like, "Gold is what makes the world go round." You might be surprised at how correct that is, despite how greedy it sounds. Gold is more than just a medium of exchange. It adds value to a wide variety of currencies throughout the globe. Additionally, it is an excellent electrical conductor and is utilized as a construction material. Due to a lack of understanding, many fail to appreciate gold for what it truly is, an all-purpose metal with remarkable properties. How to make gold bars? Gold bars are a common representation of the precious metal. Everyone loves to fantasize about a bank vault or Fort Knox filled to the brim with gold. After all, that is their substance. However, what individuals fail to realize is that real gold isn't available in bars or similar forms. It truly takes a long time and a lot of careful work to get it to the right bar form. There are professionals for that, therefore we won't give you a whole tutorial here, but we will cover the main points. This is the process used to create the most valuable gold bars in the world. To give you an example, extracting the gold from the earth is the initial step. Finding surface gold is more of a rarity than an exception. However, it is not as straightforward as one might think. There are several references to the TV program Gold Rush in this movie, but the reality is that most of the time the gold you discover is in a powdered condition. Because of how little it is, this is called fine gold. Since the ground might impact the gold, it undergoes a chemical treatment to eliminate any impurities once sufficient fine gold has been obtained. In order to create a gold bar, the process begins with melting the gold, which further purifies it. Then it is poured into a mold. Indeed, getting that gold bar takes a considerable amount of time. However, if everything is done correctly, you will have a flawless piece of gold that every miner desires. If you don't hit the like, subscribe, and bell buttons right now, this centipede will crawl all over you as you sleep. The phrase gold rush may have a wide range of interpretations depending on one's geographic location. This is mostly due to the fact that the annals of human history are replete with stories of people discovering wealth in certain regions and then rushing to grab it. People may be reluctant to mention countries outside of the US when you ask them where gold is located on Earth. This is due to the fact that the majority of the world's most well-known gold rushes, including the one that aided in the colonization of the West in the mid-1800s, took place within the US. But, as has been demonstrated time and time again, gold is not the only metal on Earth. Numerous empires and religious groups used gold as a symbol of their authority long before the United States was even a nation. That's why you sometimes find items that have been shaped with gold. It was discovered in the ground and infused into them. In the present day, there are a plethora of enterprises and gold rushes that are experiencing explosive growth. For example, over its more than a decade on television, the show Gold Rush has featured the discovery of gold in several countries, including the US, Canada, Guyana, South America, Papua New Guinea, Australia, and most recently, New Zealand. They went so far as to say that Australian gold is among the world's cleanest, and that New Zealand's wash facilities are among the biggest and most innovative in the world. We have extracted a significant amount of gold from the earth, but a fresh gold rush may start with the discovery of a single large deposit. Gold is literally everywhere if you know where to search. How much gold has been found? How much we have discovered is truly put into perspective by that intriguing question. There are an estimated 244,000 metric tons of gold under the earth as of a particular date, with another 187,000 metric tons produced in the past, and another 57,000 metric tons held in subterranean reserves. 3 nations, South Africa, Australia, and China, have supplied the vast majority of that gold. As of 2016, the US actually produced the 4th most gold. Since gold is being mined constantly, there is likely a lot more to add to the pile, if you will. Thus, we can't say for sure how accurate this is. On top of that, the The web page of the source that was located for this did not really provide a date. There was another form from 2022 that had a lesser amount than what was indicated, but like I said before, everything is picky, and we're both completely puzzled at this point. We need to know, what did we do with all that gold? After it's discovered, it's sold, and a significant amount of it is utilized in jewelry production. Yes, it's true that wearing gold jewelry, whether it's an earring or a wedding band, is a beautiful way to express your affection. As indicated earlier, much of it is transformed into gold bars and coins before being placed in reserves. This practice helps to preserve the value of certain currencies and is frequently used as collateral for nations to settle their obligations with one another. Additionally, it serves a variety of technological functions as a result of its inherent characteristics, among others. The exact value of this gold is beyond my comprehension, but according to one estimate, it would be enough to fill 2 Olympic-sized swimming pools, a pool that even Scrooge McDuck would envy. Worldwide currencies have one major flaw, which many of you have probably already noticed. They are worthless apart from the value we assign to them collectively. Their value is directly proportional to my estimation of it. That's why we have gold bars on hand and other forms of reserve currency, to keep our currency-making options stable. The obvious issue with it is the fact that it ignores the most basic question: why do we value gold? Because after all, if fiat currency is useless, then what good is a rock in the ground? This is a great question, and I'll be happy to answer it for you. Gold is one of numerous metals that fall under the category of noble metals, which makes it a unique form of metal in and of itself. Gold, in its core, is steady in all the important respects. Under the correct circumstances, it can be molded and shaped, but in general, it is not something that corrodes, evaporates, or withers away. In addition to gold, other materials such as silver, copper, and platinum also have a long lifespan, which is why we place a high value on them. Furthermore, gold's rarity, a rarity great enough to warrant its high price per ounce, not per pound, is another reason for its perceived value. These and other reasons related to its noble nature make it widely believed that this metal warrants our attention and protection. To call it a golden substance would be an understatement. A lot of people would be happy if there was more gold in the world so they could strike it rich, that is, if there was more gold to be found. On the other hand, gold's value would drop if it were ubiquitous, making it less valuable than other materials. Congratulations, DuckTales! Gold, as said before, has an inherent scarcity. Yet there are rare instances when it may be artificially produced due to a unique occurrence. It may occur as a result of an earthquake, according to one research. A 2013 model suggested that cracks and water evaporate during earthquakes, leaving behind gold. This isn't only an unfounded hypothesis, I want to be clear. For a long time, people have wondered how gold sinks so far into the earth. In addition to the movement of glaciers, some scientists have hypothesized that, under the correct conditions, pressure from earthquakes might trigger certain responses. Still, it seems a little far-fetched to turn it into actual gold, doesn't it? After all, for the proper outcome, it is necessary to have all the appropriate ingredients in the right location at the right time. This means that an earthquake in a very particular location is required for the task at hand. Any old earthquake won't cut it. As the saying goes, it's still only a theory, but it demonstrates the lengths individuals would go to in order to increase their gold supply. Concerning alchemy, I will not even begin. There are many grades of purity for gold, which reflect the metal's inherent qualities as well as its exposure to various environmental factors, as I said before. 10 karat and 24 karat are two of its often used metrics. 24 karat gold is the purest form of the metal currently available, and it is also the most highly purified. To clarify, 10 karat gold is just as good and commonly used in jewelry, while 24 karat gold is both the most unique and difficult. You see, the degree to which 24K gold can be shaped is nearly ridiculous. In addition to the process I've already described for making gold bars, one interesting aspect of working with 24 karat gold is the production of extremely thin sheets, so thin that an inch-thick stack would consist of 200,000 sheets. You might not think much of gold's malleability, but it poses serious problems if you wish to use it to manufacture jewelry. It might easily bend throughout the manufacturing process and would be unsuitable for long-term wear and tear. So 10K to 22K gold is the range for anyone looking to create a shaped object. However, if you want to utilize gold as an investment, that is to hold it and sell it when the price is right, then 24-karat gold is the sort to acquire. Both the process of discovering gold and the process of manufacturing items with it are greatly affected by these minute details. Certain individuals will go to ridiculous measures to get rich, but there are certain ways that are more reasonable and based on science than others. For example, evidence suggests that microorganisms may convert one substance into gold in 2012. Adam Brown, an associate professor of electronic art and intermedia, and Kazim Kashefi, an assistant professor of microbiology and molecular genetics, have developed a small lab that converts naturally occurring toxic liquid gold chloride into 99.9% pure gold using bacteria called, I won't try to pronounce it. In fact, microbes can produce 24-karat gold. Ours is an amazing planet. As part of the procedure, the bacteria are held in place in a laboratory dish while they are fed gold chloride. It finishes its work in around a week, transforming all that waste into 24-karat gold, a valuable metal that everyone knows and loves. You should keep a few things in mind before you try to figure out what makes this technique work and try to implement it on your own. To start, these microbes are transforming a poison into a precious metal. Simply transforming gold chloride into solid gold is not the same as creating gold bars. While that's fantastic, it also implies that it's happening in little doses. On a second point, gold chloride is available, but it's not exactly inexpensive. Even if it's miraculous science, you still haven't heard about microbe mining after all these years. In addition to its monetary worth, gold's social significance as a symbol of riches and triumph likely contributes to its widespread appeal. This is exemplified most clearly by the gold medals that both men and women get in the Olympics. Every time they take place, third place is bronze, second place is silver, and first place gets a beautiful sparkling gold medal. But tell me, what are these golden medals? Is the gold content 100% or something close? Oh, wait a second. It's been a while since they were. Olympic gold medals are primarily comprised of sterling silver, with only around 1.34% gold. Hurt, didn't it? Behold the sight of Olympians eagerly gnawing on their gold medals. It's because they're checking its purity using a test. But it isn't, so keep your teeth. The question is, why aren't the medals made of pure gold? Value and rarity are the two primary considerations. They were originally crafted from pure gold, but their composition was altered around 1912 as a result of shortages brought on by the impending wars. In the present day, with so many gold medals being awarded, it would be quite wasteful to utilize gold for each one. There are several benefits to earning gold medals, so don't feel bad for the Olympians just yet. Typically, their home countries provide financial incentives for winning them, such as gold bars in Malaysia may fetch anywhere from $25,000 to $250,000. Yeah, they're still holding up well despite the fact that it's sterling silver. The Nobel Peace Prize stands in stark contrast to our last discussion. This honor is truly encrusted with gold. The Nobel Prize medal was traditionally crafted from 23-karat gold before to 1980. Medals awarded for the Nobel Peace Prize since 2010 have been crafted from 18-karat green gold and coated with 24-karat gold. Electrum or green gold is a mixture of gold, silver, and trace levels of copper. Thus, it is gold, just not the most pure kind as most people would assume. Nonetheless, it's undeniably more golden than the Olympic medals. For what reason is that so? I could speculate that it's because only a select few receive the Nobel Peace Prize, but we're just guessing. In terms of its intended purpose, it is designed to be an award that actually excels. Whoever wins it will have made a significant impact on the globe, whether via diplomacy, technology, humanitarianism, or some other field. Maybe this green gold will serve as more evidence that they are deserving victors who should be rewarded with an item that truly represents the worth of the honor. Although this is purely conjecture, the fact that it is a highly esteemed prize that not everyone receives lends credence to the idea. We will now discuss the real altering of gold's hue, as we have already covered green gold. With the correct tools, pure gold will not tarnish or fade since it is a metal that resists discoloration. The reason behind this is because gold is not very reactive. The propensity of an element to donate electrons and produce positive ions is characterized by its reactivity in the chemical sense. An element's reactivity is proportional to the likelihood that something will occur. Its worth is increased because this is also a noble metal, which we discussed before. However, there is a catch, isn't there? Because as mentioned, it is colorless, pure gold, but that isn't always the case. Keep in mind that everything used to make jewelry is actually gold alloy. Forging gold into the numerous things that people desire is possible through a number of different procedures. Because the other metals it is mixed with are responsible for its color shift, these operations might cause discoloration over time. Its look might also change with time due to treatments like as gold plating. This means that you can now tell the difference between pure and impurity gold just by looking at the color of the metal. You should always be well informed in case someone attempts to deceive you. I will always explain it to you in a bit more detail in case you are still confused about the difference between impure and pure gold. The Earth's crust and, allegedly, seismic activity are the sources of gold. This is the material that forms the vast veins that can be seen on every continent. Underneath our feet, though, lies a veritable assemblage of materials. The generated gold substance is frequently a combination of many other components that are present at the moment. As an example, I've previously mentioned 10-karat gold, which means it's composed of 10 parts gold and 14 parts another material. The process of making gold bars involves subjecting the mixture to extremely high temperatures in order to remove any impurities. Even though I've only touched on the topic in passing, I think it's important to go into detail about how the TV show Gold Rush changed people's views of gold in the mining industry. The story starts with the Hoffman crew, a band of men who, in the midst of a national economic depression, traveled to Alaska in search of gold so that they could provide for their families. Today, it's not just a top show on Discovery Channel, but it has spawned other spin-offs that highlight different methods of gold mines, such as whitewater dredging, among others. A lot of people have gold fever, if you will, because the show has shown that millions of dollars worth of gold was recovered. Please don't be shy about giving it a watch. It's excellent. Much of the items we find in the sites of ancient civilizations across the world contain gold, as mentioned before. The Varna culture, which was on the verge of extinction, is said to have been the owner of the oldest known piece of gold. Despite this, they were engaged in goldworking as early as 4600 BC. That would place it among the earliest metals ever transformed into an artistic medium or useful substance by mankind. As an interesting aside, there are those who think it was the initial substance that humans dealt with instead of iron. Although modern societies may make greater use of gold, the fact that ancient peoples were able to do the same, if not better, in some situations is truly remarkable. I definitely messed up this one since it's unpleasant and hard to say, but it demonstrates that giving anything a name is frequently not an art form, but rather a reflection of your current understanding of what it is. What does the meaning of this strange, difficult-to-pronounce name mean? It is the Aztec word for gold. So it's literally translated as excrement from the gods. Yep, that's right. The gods' trash was the inspiration for the name. How incredible! I can promise you, though, that this lunacy is not without purpose. Gold supposedly leaked out of the earth and was first encountered by them in a manner similar to diarrhea. Thus, the sun god was believed to provide the gift of gold, and the moon god bestowed the gift of silver. When faced with something or someone, sometimes all you can do is take a look and assume there's no other way to see it. No known naturally occurring material on Earth can currently degrade gold at the molecular level. Almost nothing can harm pure gold. It is resistant to fire, rust, corrosion, and tarnishment. Many people appreciate it because, once again, it is a noble metal. It has even been demonstrated in experiments that a gold bar can be melted and reformed into a bar without losing a single grain of gold, regardless of how many times this procedure is repeated. One exception to this rule is that gold may be dissolved. However, this process destroys the gold. The gold is indeed there. You're simply not seeing it because you're transforming it into air-dispersible gold particles. This is in contrast to, instance, burning wood, which results in the wood's eventual decomposition. You can't do that with gold because it's disassembled into its component parts. Many people in this video have brought up the fact that gold's value stems from its many other uses than jewelry. This encompasses rocket science as well. It may come as a surprise, but NASA engineers really employed a small covering of gold leaf as the top layer of a thermal blanket that covered the bottom of the Apollo 11 rocket module. Glass wool, captain, mylar, and aluminum were among the 25 layers that made up the extraordinarily intricate blanket. Clearly, other elements were also present, but the gold was undeniable. To protect the astronauts from potentially harmful infrared radiation, a small coating of gold was also utilized in their visors. Look no farther than Italy in the 7th century BC for another ingenious application of gold. Their use of gold is puzzling. People who were always eager to flaunt their money even in their teeth would utilize it for dental work. Truth be told, the ancient Italians were the first to have gold teeth long before any rappers did. In addition to using it for dental restorations like crowns, they also fashioned gold wires to secure false teeth. Having a picture-perfect grin requires some extreme measures. Even more importantly, contemporary medicine does not appear to understand the rationale for this practice, which persisted for 70 years. Therefore, I will do my best to clarify it. For almost 70 years, a gold anti-inflammatory liquid solution was the go-to injection for rheumatoid arthritis. However, it seems that some individuals were eager to receive these injections and even went so far as to declare that they had achieved remission as a result of the procedure. Given the current state of rheumatoid arthritis treatment options and the serious risks associated with injecting oneself with gold, this is a serious concern. Wow, this is really surprising. This further proves that even cutting-edge medical treatment has its limitations. As you may remember from Disney classics like Pocahontas, the English sailed to the Americas in quest of colonization opportunities, and more specifically, gold. In the film, they even made a song about it. Nonetheless, a North Carolina farm discovered gold for the first time in the United States soon before 1800. In 1799, close to his family's Little Meadow Creek farm, a little boy named Conrad Reed picked up a strange golden pebble. There was a 17-pound shiny anomaly that the Reeds used as a doorstop for 3 years. Yes, they were naive enough to use gold nuggets as a doorstop. A jeweler eventually acquired it, and the owners went on to develop a gold mine on the site. The current market value of the 17-pound chunk exceeds $500,000. Going to India is all it takes to get one last piece of evidence on how thin gold may be. They don't utilize the simplest materials to create some very unique garments there. In fact, they employ a metallic yarn that is a combination of silver and gold. Just so we're clear, these gowns and clothing are made of 24-karat gold. Although the handmade fashion trend is on the decline, these garments are nevertheless considered works of art in their own right. It may take months to finish artwork the right way by hand, but the end effect is indisputable. You can definitely state that they appear golden. Everything you need to know about gold and its powers is included inside. In light of what you've learned about gold today, what are your thoughts on the precious metal? In your opinion, is there a lot about gold that the general public needs to know in order to really appreciate it? Additionally, are you acquainted with someone who ventures out to find gold? In the space provided here, please tell me everything about it. Stay tuned for more exciting updates, and until then, have a look at what else is popping up on the screen.